So my name is Monika Chojnacki, and I'm a recent graduate of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. And since the beginning of basically time, I have always wanted to work in cultural heritage abroad. So this summer, thanks to IEP, I got to spend 10 weeks in Lithuania doing work on a variety of different historic building typologies with Fixus Mobilius. 10 minutes is not nearly enough to convey all that I have had the opportunity to learn and experience this summer, but I hope that this will at least give you a taste. So first off, let's start with a little bit about Lithuania. Once I accepted my placement, I began to tell my friends that I was going to go work in Lithuania this summer. And the general reaction was, "That's so great, it's going to be amazing." And followed up by, "Where is that exactly?" So as you can see, Lithuania is located on the Baltic, just east of Poland. The next follow-up question was, "That's great, remind me where Poland is." Overall, Lithuania has had a tumultuous history as an independent country, from its early refusal to convert to Christianity to its efforts to retain the Lithuanian language via underground publications and book smuggling initiatives. Nevertheless, it has managed to retain its own language and culture despite multiple wars and occupations. You can witness the effect of such challenges in the built environment. During Soviet times, many properties were seized and nationalized by the government, resulting in hastily reallocated or repurposed properties. For example, the Church of St. Mary on the left there was repurposed as a vegetable storage warehouse. And the image to the right, which was a manor house, was repurposed as an office, school, and factory before being abandoned. These buildings were often not maintained and left to their own devices as soon as they were perceived as irrelevant. This break in continuity of ownership and care resulted in a shift of perspective and reverence in regard to the built environment. So about 4 years ago, a group of socially minded cultural heritage professionals decided to establish a preventative care initiative with the goal of providing access to free professional consultations, preventative care measures, and community education in order to alter the general stigma surrounding the maintenance and care of historic buildings. And this summer, I had the honor of becoming part of their team. So what did I do? The better question may be, what didn't I do in my weeks there? Throughout my time, I got to visit and work at 11 historically registered sites scattered throughout the country, as you can see in the map. And these buildings ranged in size and scale from vernacular timber buildings to ecclesiastical structures to manor houses, ranging in historical dates from the 1600s to the late 1800s. On a typical inspection day, we would travel to the site with our fully equipped minibuses, and often upon arrival would have the chance to chat with the homeowners or the caretakers of a certain building. We would then undertake a thorough inspection of the property or object from the roof and attic to the foundation, taking notes, prepared plans, and more than a few photos. As many of you know, a good image is worth 1,000 words. So we did our best to capture the structures and the conditions at each site. So these are a few images from the 4th site that we visited, which was a historic granary, where I got the chance to take my inaugural drone flight in order to get better images of the roof conditions. And we also utilized a GoPro to get a 360-degree view of the interior, which, although this is a still in the bottom right, when you view it in the computer, you can really kind of have a 360-degree perspective of the structure. At each site, we would also gather samples of any mold, fungus, salt deposits for laboratory analysis upon our return. And here we are at a historic Bishop's Manor, which is now an archive and storage for a national museum. And as you can see, they have been suffering from water leakage and high moisture and improper renovation techniques that resulted in a plaster collapse the day before our arrival. Besides those tools, we also got to play with some fun technology, such as temperature and humidity gauges, crack monitoring gauges, and employ my favorite tool, which I like to call the Ghost Buster gun, which is a resistograph which tests the density of wood to identify areas of substandard structural integrity. And there I am instituting it on the Poet's House, which was one of our first visits. All of these steps are undertaken with the aim to capture as much data as possible about the current state of the building, allowing us to make the best informed decision about the work that needs to be done, as well as to provide the property owner with the most thorough understanding of the structure's condition. And then came the hands-on part. Our goal was always to leave the property a little bit better than we found it. At times, this meant that there were things that could be done immediately, while others, work necessitating the use of specific materials, skills, or tools, would be planned for a return date. These images here are from the Viceno de Varo manor that I mentioned earlier. We spent 2 days here working on improving water runoff and biological growth damage. Besides slightly bigger works, throughout my time, I became an expert at carrying out some simple care tasks, such as gutter or drainage cleaning, weed pulling, or repainting. Maybe not as glamorous as getting on the roof, but our goal was to show the homeowners or the property managers that even simple care measures can aid in the stability of a property until further investment and restoration can be achieved. Upon returning to the office, our visits were followed up by in-depth reports that outline the building conditions, completed works, and recommended works. The goal is to have a clear and concise communication pathway with the homeowner and allow for positive relationship building between cultural infrastructure organizations and the community. On the same note, between the community members themselves and the cultural infrastructure that they inhabit and interact with on the daily. And overall, in my 10 weeks in Lithuania, I had the opportunity to explore Vilnius, travel through the Baltic states and beyond, visit 5 UNESCO World Heritage sites, and get quite emotional at many of the amazing buildings that I was surrounded with on the daily. Besides that, I had the opportunity to meet and work with so many fantastic people along the way, especially every member of the Fixus Mobilius team, who really welcomed me as one of their own. So on that note, I would like to thank everyone for, again, welcoming me in Lithuania, to World Heritage USA for making this opportunity possible for me, to all my professors for the encouragement, all the friends and family back home and newly made in Lithuania. Thank you.